Okay, this is Mn5, algebra 2, period 2. You guys don't have to write that part out. It's actually 817. If you're on lined paper, you probably want to put the date. And this is solving 3x3 systems. This is actually a section in our textbook now. It's section 1.4. We're going to do some problems from our textbook, but actually we're still going to be on the worksheet. So the problems aren't going to be exactly from the textbook. But I want to show you, first let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like. I wonder if that one though, you probably made one that doesn't come out pretty. So I'm going to make a different one. Okay, so let me show you example 1. And then I want to show you what this really is in the 3D world. 3D is how they program video games. Okay, so they need 3 letters instead of only 2 letters. So we need to add a Z. So, and you keep learning more and more as math goes on. Okay. So write down these equations, first of all. And the key to these 3x3 equations are going to be to stay organized. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what I want to show you is I want to show you what these are in the real 3D world. Okay. So I'm going to change to camera, and then I'll come back to this if you didn't finish writing it down. So I'm going to come back to camera. Oh, this is so cool. I've never been able to do this before. Okay, so here's my camera. Oh, I should change to don't twist. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay. That's not what I want. Let me change to don't twist. Okay, so let me go back to camera. Okay, so that's sideways, right? Is this up and down? Yeah, that's up and down. Okay, so sorry, I'm probably making you dizzy. Okay, look at these. So those 3 equations with the x, y's, and z's, they're actually planes. So do you see the first one? The first one is like they all hit at that. Do you see where it's a dot? There's a black dot right there in the middle. They all intersect at that dot. Like, look at your room right now. So where does your floor, like look in the corner of one of your rooms and look at where the corner intersects the floor. So the 3 planes would be like the wall plane, the other wall plane that makes the corner, and then the floor. And they all intersect at the dot. And then this one looks like your notebooks, doesn't it? Like a notebook. If you lift your notebook up, or like my book. See my book? My book is a bunch of planes, right? So all these planes intersect in a line. It's funny, it's trying to get me to scan it. But basically, they intersect in the line that is the binding. So sometimes planes intersect in one spot. And then they have, look at the 3 planes down there, the 3 planes that don't intersect. Those are parallel planes. Those don't intersect either, right? But they're not all parallel. Oh, and like a tent. The tents don't all intersect at the same point. Like the green, the green, the blue, and the burgundy, they don't all intersect at the same spot. Now we don't have to draw them, so don't worry. Okay, you actually draw them in vectors. So that would be, usually people don't learn how to draw the planes until they're in calculus, 3D calculus. Yeah, but anyway, I've never been able to show that before. That's kind of fun. I'm like, there's really cool pictures in the book. That's usually what I say. There's really cool pictures in the book, but I never show them. Okay, now the algebra behind it is actually similar to what you've done before. Can you tell me, how did it go on the elimination homework? You know where we multiplied by the other numbers? How'd your elimination homework go? Okay, so this is really just like doing elimination, but 3 times. So you're going to do the elimination process 3 times. Okay? So I'm going to call this one equation 1. I don't usually write this down, but I kind of feel like since I'm not pointing, I'll be able to discuss it better. So usually people look at the x terms, okay? So look at the x column. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to choose, and we'll just write the words out for the first one. You're going to choose 2 rows and eliminate x. Now you actually get to choose the letter, but we're going to try it. We're just going to do it with x so you could do it the standard way. Okay, so eliminate x. So for example, I'm going to choose 4x plus the first 2 rows. Okay, so you're going to choose the 2 rows and write them down. And you're going to eliminate x. Okay, we'll deal with the third equation later. Okay, so the way I showed you to do it is multiply by the opposite, the other number, right? So I'm going to do it that way, but it would be faster to multiply by 2, the bottom equation. But I want to give you a method that will work every single time. Okay, so although it is easier to multiply the bottom one by 2, it takes more thinking. So for right now, we're going to just do the standard way. Okay, but on your homework, you're free to make the front ones match in any way you want. Or you can also choose, maybe you want to make the y's match instead of the x's. Okay, but for right now, let's just have a method that works no matter what. So you put the 2 there, you put the 4 there, right? Times 4 times 2. So this is still using your normal elimination. Okay, so that's what? 8x plus 4y plus 6z equals 24. And 8x minus 12y plus 20z equals negative 28. Now on your notes for Mn3, I guess it was Mn3. Some of you didn't show the changing of the signs for the second equation. Okay, so make sure you show the signs in your notes and in your homework, okay? Okay, so this is 0. That was the plan, right? I wanted that to be 0. 16y minus 14z equals 52. And then you're going to put a box around this one, even though it's not the final answer. I definitely always put a star. But if you can put a box, you can find it later. Okay, so you're going to need to use this later. So let's put use later. Somehow my wrist hurts today. Okay, that's not good. Let me sit it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to use that later. Okay, you're going to choose 2 rows and eliminate the same letter. In this case, x. But if you chose to eliminate y, you would then eliminate y in the second one. Now, you can't choose 2 other rows. Okay, now, would you rather choose the 4 and the 4x and the 6x or the 2x and the 3x? I'm thinking the 2x and the 6x. And you know, I think I just want to multiply the middle row by 3. I think I don't want to do the across things. So I think I'm going to have to be creative here because I don't really want to multiply that whole thing by 6. The numbers are going to get big. Okay, so 2x minus 3y plus 5z equals, and the biggest errors here are dropped negatives. So definitely rewrite the equations down here. Because the worst thing is when you get the first letter, if you get a fraction and you're like, seriously, I got a fraction. Now, I don't give you any with fractions, but if you get a fraction, you're like, oh, shoot, I did something wrong. And where in the world did I do it wrong? Okay, so can we use the arrow method? Okay, but I think we're not going to. So 6 and 2, right? Couldn't you do that? Oh, you guys can't see it. Oh, is it because of the zoom in or I'm frozen? Oh, you guys, I think I'm frozen. Can you hear my voice? Okay, but you can't see where I wrote 6 and 2 in red. Okay, let me check if I'm on my mobile hotspot. Oh no, somehow I got off my mobile hotspot. Okay. Okay, so I'll be back in just a second. I know I'm still here, but my tablet will be back in just a second. Verizon. So we should be. Let me get back into the. Let me get back into the presenting one. Yeah, because it logs me out. Join meeting. Oh, wait. Turn the volume down. Okay, okay. I don't need to hear myself multiple times. I don't even hear myself once. Okay. Oh, the picture's not very good. You guys, I should change the picture. I wish their settings automatically went to 720. I mean, it doesn't matter if you could see me clearly. As long as you can see. I know it looks like I'm dirty, you guys, if you see my neck, but it's really just that I have a funny tan. And I'm peeling. I don't know if you guys could see this, but I have a stripe. You guys have a stripe tan. I have a stripe tan. It's a seatbelt tan. I have a big old stripe down the middle of my neck. And then I'm peeling. So okay, let's see. That was from driving in the convertible. Okay, so hold on, let's go back. Sorry. Okay, are we back here? Oh no, you can't see it. So you guys be real patient with your teachers this week. Okay, it's like we all feel like first-year teachers. Like we're good teachers at Walnut, right? Now I'm lucky. I've been using a tablet for about 1.5 years on my TV. So really I'm just doing it on my computer instead. So I'm used to, like, sometimes my OneNote, which is what I use, sometimes it doesn't work. I also taught summer school, so I knew what to do if Google Meet freezes. So I'm a little bit more calm than maybe your other teachers are, but be real understanding of them. It's a crazy week, I have to tell you. It's just crazy. And that's how I feel, and I'm pretty good with technology. Okay, so, and then I'm also experienced with using both the technology I use to teach you and the technology, which is the Google Meet that I used in the summer. So I'm like 6 weeks in, and everybody else is like 1 week in. Okay. Okay, so instead of doing the 6-2, you guys can see this now, right? This thing to the left? Right? I know. Okay, so 6-2. So can you see a shortcut though? What's a shortcut? Okay, what about a shortcut? How could I make a match? Yes, half. So I like what you put, but which equation though? Yeah, the top. But you know what, Leanna, you might have written it backwards than me. Then that's okay too. You guys, you don't have to write it exactly, the same as me. I just happen to write the 2x at the top. Okay, so how about we just do this? This looks good. So 6x minus 9y plus 15z equals negative 21. And be careful, because if you're not careful, you're going to get fractions. It's going to be wrong, and you're going to be suffering. Okay, now I have to change the signs. And then you add, right? So this is what? That's a 1. So negative 8y plus 11z equals negative 18. And then you're going to put a little star by this one and put use later. And don't worry, you guys, you don't have like 10 of these for homework. I know they each take a long time. Okay. Okay. So now you're going to take your 2 stars. So take your 2 starred equations Now, do you see why I got rid of the same letter? Oh, and this, you guys, is algebra 2. You've never seen this before. So algebra 1, we do not have 3x3 systems. Okay, so definitely this is brand new. But it's using tools that you already did. Exactly. Take the two start equations and eliminate a new letter. Now, usually I eliminate y, but that's a suggestion, not a requirement. I'm looking at the y's and I'm looking at the z's. I'm thinking the z's are worse, right? I don't want to multiply 11 and 14. How could I do these? Now I can do the arrow thing. And that'd be what, 8 and 16? So put can use, just in case you want a method that always works. But I'm afraid those numbers are going to be too big. So what would you say I should do instead? Not a bad idea, but actually I like them being opposite. I want them to be opposite. So multiply the 8 by 2. And make sure you put that parenthesis so you remember to distribute. Okay, so 16y. And the arrows will help somebody following it or you to follow it. Because you guys, this one, if it's all disorganized, you're not going to be able to figure out what you did wrong if you made an error. Oh, and you'll notice some things like when I write a Z, I put a line through it because otherwise my 2's look too close to Z's. So I put a line through my Z's. Otherwise they look like 2's and then I mess up the problem. Now I kind of like that they were opposite because look, I don't have to change the signs. Now, if you did change the signs at the beginning, you just have to change the signs back. So it's not a big deal. Those add and give me 0. That's 8z equals, let's see, 16. Positive, right? Okay, I'm so excited right now because I'm not getting a fraction. So I'm thinking I might have done it right. If that said 9z equals 16, I'd be like, shoot, it doesn't go unevenly. Miss Nichols is not going to give me a fraction one. And then you're looking around thinking, oh no, where's my error? Yeah, so you're going to have to be real careful. Now, some of you aren't showing me this division. So I wrote you guys some notes. You're not showing me the division step. I do need to see the division step. You remember in geometry when they made you explain why each step is true? So I'm not writing why this you're allowed to divide both sides by 8, but I do need to see the division of both sides by 8. It's technically the division property of equality. Okay. Now, I need all 3 letters. So what do you think? This is the neatest I have ever written, this 3x3 systems with this like word steps. Usually it's all over the page, like to the right, to the left, and you have to draw arrows, but this is kind of nice. So what's my next step? Now find, yeah. So now find a second letter using, now I can plug it into the original, but it has too many letters. I need an equation that only has 2 letters. So where should I plug it in? So I agree, plug in 2, but where? I mean, plug in z, 2. Z equals 2, where? Okay, I agree, plug in z, where? Yes, yes. Now find the second letter using the start equation. Nice. Plug in your first letter, because it might not be Z. Cool. And definitely you guys write the words. We're only doing 1 example of this, maybe 2. Maybe we're doing 2 examples of this today, and then that's it. Because we're not going to do like 9 examples. The technique is the same, right? Okay. So which start equation do I like better? I think I like the one with the smaller numbers. So you pick one of the start equations, and then you put the 2 in. Okay, negative 8y plus 22 equals negative 18. Then what? Okay, I agree. And be real careful, you guys, with the signs. Because if you make one mistake with your signs, you get fractions. Down, down, more down, right? Down, down, more down. So that's still, okay. Show my division step. So some of you are not showing your division step in your homework. Make sure you show division step. I'm not making you write division property of equality. Okay, but just show me the division step. Y equals 5. Okay, what do I need now? Okay. So what did I call it in the other problems? What did I call it? I wrote something so that I could write it anywhere. So I could write it anywhere there was space. So what did I call finding the last letter? Yes, so then you could write it anywhere you want. So just find some space. Otherwise, you kind of have to draw arrows. Okay, last step. Now, I need X, right? So how am I going to find X? What do you think? Now, it's funny. I mean, you'll notice, you guys, the way that I teach is by asking questions. So I know you've never learned this before. So you're just being courageous and answering my questions, even though you don't know. Okay, plug in Y and Z. Good, 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 good. This is called the Socratic method of teaching. Okay, I agree. Where? Love your answer. Where? What do you think? If I plug it into the start equation, I'm just going to get true. Yeah. What do you guys think? One of the starting equations? So here, let's put original. One of the originals. I wouldn't usually write the word original. Like, I'm going to put this in a little bubble. A bubble means you don't have to write it in your homework. Okay, and then, I mean, these instructions now find the second letter. You don't have to do that in your homework either, but mostly you got to write everything. Okay, so original. So let me find one of my original equations. Do you have a preference? Let's just pick the top one. No negatives. I have to memorize it. 4x plus 2y plus 3z. Hold on. 4x plus, I already forgot it. 2y plus 3z equals 12. Okay, so equation number 1. Okay, and then you're telling me that you want to take this and substitute it into z, and this and substitute it into y. Oops. Okay, hold on. Plug stuff in the right spots. Okay, so this would be a 2. Oh, I want to make this one a color too. I'm getting a little too excited about my colors. It's because when I teach, usually when I used to teach on my document camera, my pens would always run out. So I'd be lucky to have a pen that worked. That's why I actually bought the TV in my classroom and started using my tablet, because I was just so tired of pens that you guys couldn't see on the board. So actually, some of you who had me for 2 years ago, I was teaching with pens on the document camera. So you guys didn't see my big 75-inch TV. So I bought a 75-inch TV and brought it to school. And so that students could see. Oh my gosh, and it's been so wonderful. We have colors. Amazing. I have unlimited colors. I have to be a little careful though, because you guys don't have unlimited colors. So I try to keep it to 2 colors. And then this summer I started adding highlighters. Oh, it's so awesome. I love highlighters, because then I can show you what I'm looking at. Highlighters. Okay, negative 16. 4x equals negative 4. Show me the division step. Okay, I'm a teacher who looks at steps. Okay, so I'm a teacher who looks at steps. I really don't even care if you get the answer right. I know that sounds weird, but I care more about the steps than I care about the answer. Okay, so if you make some mistake and you call y -5 and your x comes out to be 17, I don't care. I just want you to know the process. So I'm all about the process. So that's why I need you to see this. Okay. Oh, and somebody asked me, what do you do when the letters aren't XYZ? And then you put them in alphabetical order. Okay, so alphabetical order. So put this because I think some of your homeworks might have A, B, and C. Okay. Okay, we're going to do another one, but it's not as long. Oh, and this example was the corner. The corner and the floor intersect at one point. So the three planes intersect at one spot, not like the tent. So we're going to do another example. We're going to do another example that doesn't come out to be all three letters, like you don't get an XYZ. Okay. So they won't be as long. Okay, so this one you won't get, this one won't be as long. Okay, so x plus y plus z equals 2. So that's a plane. They don't usually tell you that in algebra 2, but that is a plane. You see that more in math analysis. And you guys, sometimes I write the problems down wrong, so I'm checking to double check. I don't want to write a problem down wrong and get like a fraction or something that doesn't come out right just because I wrote the problem down wrong. Okay. So what do you think? These two? Okay, so I'm going to pick those two. And what do you think? What are you going to multiply which one by what? Multiply the top equation by 5? Okay, and I like to multiply only by positives in this first step because I like to do, if I want to do negatives, I like to change the signs later. But if the signs are already opposite, I'm super happy. Okay, this is weird. Weird. Right? So you're like, what's in the world is happening here? Okay, but we're going to just keep going with it. I'm going to change the signs, right, of the bottom because I want them to add to be. What's the left side? Okay, there's no more letters. That's exciting. So no more letters. The answer is either going to be true or false. Okay, and you know what? For you guys, I think I forgot to write what false would mean. So true means infinitely many solutions. And false means what? I think we forgot to write what false meant when we were doing it. No solution, yeah. Okay, so is 0 equal to 7? Yeah, so you write false, and then no solution is your answer. So false is part of the work. Hey, we're done already. Wasn't that exciting? Okay, so we're done. Hey, exactly. That's what I think. I'm like, really? I got the letters go away. It's done. I'm finished. Okay, it's over. Okay, so let me show you one of the infinite number of solutions ones. Okay, but example 1 is mostly what you're going to need to practice. so example 3. Okay, so x minus y plus z equals -3. X minus y minus z equals -3. 5x minus 5y plus z equals -15. Oh, definitely, I like the first two equations. Oh, look at the z's. You guys, you could just look at the z's. I kind of like the z's. I don't have to multiply by anything. How about my first set? I do this one. If I do first and second, this is first and second. I'm kind of liking the z's. And then why don't I do the first and the last? Now you don't have to. You guys, you can get rid of the x's. Okay, I'm liking the z's. We'll put or x's if you want. Now, I mean, the x's are not too complicated, right? Multiply by a negative and multiply by 5. So, I mean, it wouldn't be tragic, but I kind of like that the z's are already set up. And I want to show you that there is some flexibility. Okay, so what if you add these? What's a 1x plus 1x? Okay, so 2x minus 2y equals -6 star. 6x minus 6y equals -18 star. What do you do with your 2 starred? Stack them? These are your 2 starred? Okay, what do you think? Elimination. Do you want to multiply the top row by 6? Because you can do the 6, 2 thing. Or what else? Top by 3? Okay. And I do tend to like to write it to the right. Somehow when I write it below, when I write it down here, you guys, the 6x minus 6y equals -18, like is in my brain because it's in my view. And when that's in my view, sometimes I'll write the -18 down there and I make mistakes. But I do find out that if I write it to the right, I'm better off. And then change the signs and add, right? Add, and I get 0 equals 0. So that's true. And what did you say true was? Oh, and some of you guys wrote the word out wrong. You wrote infinite solutions, and that actually means something different. You're saying it's infinitely many solutions. So you're saying it intersects in a million points, not the answer is a million. So you're saying there are a million answers. If you write this, if you write infinite solutions, you're saying my answer is a million. So it doesn't actually mean the same thing. So you do have to write it the way that I wrote it. And true is part of your work. So make sure you write true as well. Now, you guys aren't experts yet, but do you feel like it kind of makes sense? Now, it doesn't matter to me whether tonight you prefer to do Mn5, like homework 5, and then you prefer to do homework 4 tomorrow, because this is real fresh in your mind. So I'm okay with you doing it in either order. I just need you to do one each day, or you could do 2 in a day. So, oops. So Mn5 and Mn4 are your two homeworks. One is due tonight, and one is Tuesday night. Well, I'm going to put tomorrow because the other class. Okay, I'm just going to put tomorrow. Now I'm going to put that Mn4 is due tonight and Mn5 is due tomorrow. But I really don't care if you do them in the opposite order, as long as you do one tonight and they both get done by tomorrow night. So, and our lesson on Wednesday is totally different. It's showing you how to graph with transformations. That's why you need the graph paper. Okay. So whichever one you feel happy, or I mean, you could do a little of each if you wanted to kind of stick it in your mind. The later you wait between notes and when you do a homework, the easier it is to forget the details. Okay. So I'm going to turn off the recording here.